Yeah, welcome. This is episode 2. We tiptoed into the foray of video. Although
we did, and it was a quick setup. We we think we should record us in picture mode.
Right, but it was actually kind of more like an escape room look. But
a prisoner video. The
good news is we got out.
Video.
Good news is we got out.
Yeah, and we're now in our sort of permanent space, which
Hopefully.
is also still a work in progress. But we are evolving.
Yes,
evolving.
And just a shout out to Rick Boone.
Yeah, Rick Boone.
For setting
done.
this
Big
up.
props.
Big
props.
Thank
Well
you so
done,
much.
Thank
you.
Yeah. But anyway, back to the episode. We had a good one.
It was a fun one.
It was a nice sophomoric attempt at it.
I think all these will be.
Yeah.
But
We'll be saying that episode 40.
Another
good
I hope we
try.
get to 40.
Exactly.
But we talked about some fun stuff, though.
Yeah, we did. We touched on some new tech with some AI.
Yeah, which is
driven new tech.
Going to be kind of a running theme, I think, just because
Right.
it's just in everybody's forethought of. It's just here.
Paradoxically, it sent us down a rabbit hole for some nostalgia.
Absolutely. Talking about old television shows.
MASH, I think.
Yeah.
Which just happens with a bunch of old people in a room.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially a bunch of old white guys.
Take you back to what feels comforting.
Yeah.
Safe. There was a little oddity, though, that ran throughout the episode, if I remember correctly. Grindr really got props throughout.
Which
Rick downloaded, I think.
It is now a super fan, I think.
Yeah, he downloaded it.
Oh, yes.
Again.
Slicing around. Lady G was discussed at intervals.
We've made some new friends. We've introduced some new elements to the show, which now sit in the room with us now. We have, Cody's over there.
Cody.
So you'll hear a little bit about him. And
Now we have 2 dummies that are on this.
There's 5 in here right now.
Okay.
Right. Some more lifelike than others.
True.
Yeah, Cody is more
Because
lifelike.
Cody has shoes.
Exactly. And a little bit of morals.
Loose
Exactly.
morals.
Yes.
Loose.
But this is where we're going to start doing these things out from now on, hopefully, and this feels like sort of a home.
Yeah, so number 2, give it a listen. Enjoy.
All right, do we need to clap?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
What'd that do for us?
That's going to synchronize the sound in the picture.
Excellent.
And I like how you said, in the picture.
In the picture.
The kid stays in the picture.
Yes, the picture shows. We like the picture shows.
You might have a conspiracy of the day.
Well, this big thing just landed in our lap
What's
a
that?
few weeks ago.
What landed in your lap?
I need more details.
Because
Her name's Honey.
Rick was talking about a bag of dicks earlier, so I'm just wondering what landed in your lap.
No, what
I
landed
didn't
in
throw
the
it at anybody. I shouldn't have landed in anybody.
Well, how would that feel anyway? If you got
Kind of lumpy.
It would be, because they'd be severed, so it's not that they're going to be aroused.
Like pork loin.
Yeah, like a flaccid bag, right?
Yeah.
Plastic bag, band name. Flaccid
bag of dicks.
Yeah. Or just flaccid bag.
Flaccid bag.
Oh, we'll get to that later.
No, what landed in your lap?
The whole assassination attempt. The whole there's a whole conspiracy around people thinking that was a setup. So
yeah.
no matter what side you land on,
Right.
You could, there's one side that says it was legit.
It's just so bizarre.
It is bizarre.
Without even the conspiracy angle, just so bizarre that everything played out, that happened the way it did and how it did. Just come on. Really?
It's the craziest thing. Seriously, as I've always loved politics. I've always loved history, and just the I don't care what side of the aisle that you're on. Just the man, that was a failure. It was so bad.
Oh,
I mean, my God. I mean, did you guys hear the testimony the other day? They were talking.
Yeah.
They were talking about this kid was flying a drone over this like 40 minutes before, and then they asked the Secret Service, "Could you get your drone up?" And they're like, "No, we had a bad cell signal out here." And it's like, what?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's the whole element of the conspiracy part of it. It's like all these things were going on, and everything failed so miserably. To the point where like it's almost unbelievable that somebody let this go. That's with all these conspiracy, which actually goes back to what we were talking about the last one, that all this stuff is rooted in something that's real.
Yes,
and it's what this probably is just a significant amount of failures that just led to this really unbelievable moment, which is pretty much every conspiracy theory.
Right.
But it's just kind of weird that we've all read about JFK all these years, and now we kind of had. Not the same. Not the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing at all. You're talking, but talking to my dad about this. He's like, don't ever try to get to the bottom of this. He goes, man. He goes, I got pulled into all the conspiracies when JFK died, and he's like, just don't go down that road, man. He goes, just don't do it. And of course, you find out that the shooter was a white supremacist. Shocker. Right. But. I'm really concerned about this coming few months. I mean, here you got.
There's a long road between now and election day.
So I hope they have their shit together.
If there's anything good that came from it, it's like a reboot for Secret Service for sure.
You
right?
Think? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's. I mean, I think it's just fascinating that we always talk about how do these conspiracy theories start? And we just saw happen in real time.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy.
But
you're right. It's a total reboot. I heard they brought on Robert Downey Jr.
Dr. Doom.
Yes. Yeah. I heard it's a big surprise. The Russo brothers, they're involved.
Nice.
So yeah, it should be really, really nice. And dude, I'm excited about that shit. Aren't you?
With the Russo brothers?
Oh yes.
But Robert Downey Jr.
You're not.
I think it's lazy.
What are we talking about?
Well, it's for the nerds out there. Yeah. So the big, San Diego Comic-Con's been happening, and Marvel had their big presentation of all the things that are coming down the road, and it was announced that the whole Kang thing, which is what's his name, the actor that
John Winters?
Yeah, no,
Jonathan Winters. I knew as soon as I said that.
That's a different take for Marvel. Exactly. He's a bit older.
I know. He turned black.
Wow.
No, hang on a second. My phone is my glasses are talking to me.
Boy.
Speaking of Tony Stark.
So basically, yeah. So basically,
we covered it in the other episode. So.
They set up this whole multiverse, and Kang was going to be a part of this whole multiverse. They integrated it into.
You say Kane or King?
Kang.
Jonathan Majors.
Thank you.
Copy. Thank you.
Research team.
Yeah.
So Jonathan Majors, was found of being abusive to his girlfriends, whatever. So Marvel's like, that's bad press for us. You're gone. And they set up their entire next phase around that one character. So
right.
Like, we got to change gears. So
Jonathan Winters was dead, so they couldn't get him to come on.
Right. He was great in a Mad World.
Yeah. I love that movie, by the way. That's like one of my favorite movies in the whole world.
It's a good one.
Yeah. So they had to rename what these new Avengers movies are going to be, because it was all based around this Kang guy.
But also around the multiverse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which they've been setting up, and it's all kind of lazy. But
it is.
So they've now announced, and it's all been Marvel's been under a lot of scrutiny lately of how bad the movies and TV shows have all been, pretty lackluster. And the Russo brothers, who did Avengers and did the Captain America movies, some of them,
they're great.
And they we're done. We spent so much time and effort and emotion making those movies. I don't think we'll ever do another Marvel movie again.
Then here comes a big bag of not dicks, but money.
Money.
Big bag of money. Yeah. And you know what? Hey, that's a pretty good price.
Yep.
So they came out and said they're going to direct the new Avengers movies, and the new subtitle is Doomsday, which meant that they're bringing a Marvel favorite villain, Dr. Doom. But you have to get somebody pretty potent to play that character because it has so much presence. And then they did this whole pomp and circumstance of all these characters look like Doctor Doom coming on stage, and then they part, and then this person comes out to be like the Doctor Doom, and he takes his mask off, and it's Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So they've brought RDJ back to play this role, and there's a whole thing like there's I know that there's this whole comic storyline about how where Doctor Doom was and a version of Tony Stark, blah 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 blah. But we don't know if that's going to be the case or if it's
I'm excited. It has gotten lazy and it has gotten terrible, and the movies have gotten. But with the Russo brothers on,
they're fantastic.
Robert Downey Jr. is not going to do anything bad.
No,
I mean, Oppenheimer did. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I mean, seeing
I
his
could
acting.
not watch that movie.
Why not?
Too much talking.
It's a. Did you want to read it?
I wanted stuff to blow up. Not enough blowing up stuff. Too much
I waited
talking.
this whole movie to see this bomb go off.
I should have done that at the beginning.
I thought the movie was brilliant.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it was. You're not wrong. It was a talkie for sure. It was a little sleepy.
But it's history, man. It's historical, and what we had to do as a country, what we had to do as scientists to, stop that war was nothing short of phenomenal. And
It was terrifying.
To be able to visualize.
That movie was terrifying.
Well, the movie was terrifying at the one point where they're like, okay, how do we know this is not going to blow up the universe?
We don't know.
Yeah, the whole, oxygenation of
the chain reaction.
Exactly.
Yes.
And he goes, well, it's close to zero.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit. Imagine rolling those dice. It's close to zero.
Yeah.
Not zero.
Yeah.
Close to zero. That's like sort of my odds when I was younger dating.
Close to zero.
Yes.
Not zero for the record.
Yes.
No, that was your rating of dating apps.
Exactly.
On Grindr.
Speaking of Grindr, I know we don't need to go deep in any political direction, but
We have to.
Please tell me others have found joy and irony in the fact that Grindr went down in Milwaukee during the
Republican
RNC.
National Convention.
It's
Grindr went down.
It went down.
It went down.
As in it crashed because many were using it.
Well, Lindsey Graham just couldn't make up his mind.
He's made up his mind. He's made up his mind.
When they start talking about all these childless cat women, there was a picture of Lindsey Graham the other day and under that headline.
Childless cat woman.
And I was just like, oh my God, this is hilarious. Because, that's the whole rumor. I mean,
yeah.
Lady G is his name.
Lady G.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
but the fact that
Are you serious?
On which part?
You don't know this?
No.
Which part?
Yeah.
Which part are you?
The Lady G part.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that I don't care.
Like
Lady G.
like J. Edgar Hoover kind of
Yes.
stuff? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
But the fact that Grindr went down.
Download this app.
Well, if you're...
Yeah, pretend to download it again.
Yeah.
Cling.
And if you ever need a place
What's
to
the
send
screen name? Do you know?
I don't know.
I'll try Lady G. Sorry.
Okay, we know where he's sending that bag of dicks to.
Sending.
It'll be a box of dicks. Gift wrap.
Yeah, so it completely crashed in Milwaukee during the
And dude,
RNC.
I have nothing against people loving people. I have nothing against people. But
That's not what this is about. I'm talking about the hypocrisy
Yes.
and just the fact that undisputable when the two things align perfectly. That what Grindr went down where? Milwaukee. When?
Yeah.
During the Republican National Convention. Interesting.
And I know that's odd for you guys because it usually happens in the towns that you guys are working.
Right. And for once, I wasn't
I wasn't there yet.
Yeah, I wasn't there. Flying there Friday. True story. Hope it's back up. I hope they've recovered. Unlike Delta after the software update. Wow. Man. Talk about impact. And of all carriers, happens to be mine. But still, I mean, it would have been bad enough if you were flying day of. But if you're flying Delta, it was also bad day after, the day after that, the day after that. Up to a week after, they were still in Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. People a week after were still waiting.
One company.
To try to get out.
one company brought all that down. And, and that's what scares the shit out of me.
Yeah,
it's
like monopolization of everything.
Well, these are real issues that any candidate, we're in an election year, should be talking about, is these centralized agencies that control everything. Like, I mean, just imagine.
It's nuts.
The whole government runs on AWS.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
It does.
And Flash.
Yeah. Flash. Yeah.
Flash 4.
But it's scary.
Their plug-in.
It's scary, and our infrastructure, electricity, all that
the
shit.
grid, all of
It's crazy, man, and
Well, that's the vulnerability of today versus infrastructures in decades, generations past. That's where we are now. It's power, water, energy, and who controls those grids, and what's the infrastructure or lack thereof, right?
Yep. You look at Texas. Look at that energy infrastructure. It's bizarre.
Well, yeah, I think they've suffered some during the last several years.
The ice storm.
Cold, cold weather.
People just die.
Temps below a certain level, and fuel no longer is an option.
And that's why I find interesting. We'll get off this political thing here in a little bit, but it's really interesting to see Elon moving to Texas. Here's a guy that is all about energy. From the sun. It's like it's just it's crazy.
No thanks.
Yeah.
Internet says
I'll take a pass.
that was a deep fake.
What was?
The whole thing about Lady G.
Oh, of course. See, now that's a conspiracy. That's the conspiracy.
That's just what the internet says.
Well, I'm just telling you. Do you remember 2 years ago when he dyed his hair totally blonde to look just like Trump? Remember that?
No.
Oh my God! This
wasn't an SNL skit.
No. This was like I think when Trump was still in office, he actually dyed his hair. I mean, he looked.
My Lord.
And it's like, bro, come on, man.
It's like that episode of Seinfeld whenever Elaine was dating the guy named Tony.
Hey, Tony.
George wanted to be like Tony.
Step off. You step off, George. George, he wants you to step off.
Oh, Tony, no.
No, Tony, I made a sandwich.
I brought Superman comics.
Isn't that the one they go rock climbing and George packs lunch? He and Kramer there, and they drop the rope. No!
But about his face. Is his face okay?
I thought you weren't interested in his face.
No, Tony, no.
Step off, George. George, Tony said you better step off.
Oh, Tony, no.
Oh, Tony, no.
Is there anything out there like that that's that funny now? I mean,
TV wise?
I mean, the only thing that I found, like really just makes me laugh internally, and it's over. And I hope you've been catching up is Secession, and you see,
you'd be proud. You'd be proud, guys.
And you see that's really happening right now. You see what's happening right now.
Yeah.
With the Fox Corporation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we are.
So where are you in Succession?
We are, I think, episode 6 of season 1.
Yeah. So listener, we discovered during our last huddle that Jason was late to the party, and we really tried to focus.
Yeah,
emphasize.
I
move it to the top of the list.
I like to let an entire series come out and know everything about it, and then go back and watch it. I mean, that's
judge it,
like Breaking Bad.
Oh God, yeah.
Did the same thing. Yeah. Didn't watch it. They just did a massive binge and plowed through it in 2 weeks. But yeah, but Succession, I just caved to pressure.
Yeah,
and we're on it. We're on the train now.
What episode?
It's the. I'm trying to think which. It's like 5 or 6.
You're 5 or 6 in?
Yeah.
Okay.
And who's your favorite character? That's the big question. He
hasn't met Greg yet, has he?
Have you met Greg?
Yeah.
Is Greg
the nephew?
Okay, I guess you had.
Yes.
Well, what about the Shiv's husband?
Tom?
Yeah.
He's you hate to love him, but you love to hate him.
I know.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll see later Tom and Greg form an alliance.
Well, I've seen that.
Oh
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I love those guys.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite?
I'm a big Roman fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
He is.
I just love his the popping off of.
And
yeah.
hang with him because he's going to take you on a ride. It's
So what
glorious.
I've found. So you're talking about what do you think is funny now? Like I was a huge 30 Rock fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the laughs per minute, the LPM,
the pace, LPM,
was
laughs
so intense with that show. I mean, it's just like you're laughing and you're missing dialogue.
Yeah.
And I think that Succession has that same vibe. It's like it's coming at you with information and lines and
situations. It's an actual situational comedy. I mean, it's like
it's a dramedy.
Yeah,
with an opposing sort of a juxtaposition with the score that they put underneath the whole thing.
Oh my gosh!
Just glorious.
And one of the things that I really really like about it is, and it's due to the writing is. These are all these uber rich people, which so many people cannot relate to, right? And then they start to humanize them. Like, oh, these people have problems too. But yeah, you can't relate to their problems, but they have people problems. But the minute you start feeling sorry for them, they'll flip it.
I know.
And you go, oh wait, I hate these people.
I know.
Rug out from under you.
That's why I love that show. That's why I love that show. Yeah.
It's so well done.
Except for Roman, I still think that guy, even as shitty as he has, like throughout that series, I love that dude.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a massive douche, though.
Yeah, but I love him.
Yeah, and in the best kind of way, I guess.
I know, I love him. I love the camaraderie between him and Jerry. Episodes. Oh my God! And they say,
well, in their love language.
Yeah, and they said that was happening on set.
Yeah,
and they decided to write it in to just because they were just having fun, right?
Yeah, they had that rapport and decided to allow it into the.
That happens a lot with shows of like those characters develop in a certain way, but how they're written on paper. But after a while, either you see a performance and it starts to, that is now the main juice of this show.
Yeah.
So like, like The Simpsons, like at first like, it's about Bart, but then it's like, it's about Homer. And then it kind of would switch. So I think that's just
organic evolution.
Yeah. I think that's normal. So, and speaking of TV shows, so Matthew and I, I'm gonna get some tech talk here.
Ooh.
Matthew, so you actually introduced us to this showrunner thing.
Yep.
And so we all signed up for it. Did you get the invitation for the alpha?
Have not.
That happened today, actually.
Yeah. I might have. Yeah.
So cool, bro.
Did not. May have.
Did.
No, I haven't checked that other email account.
Oh.
Which is,
Is that the same one you used for Grindr?
Sexy socks.
We got an email from Lady G.
Yes, I do.
It's Lady J.
No, you know how it is. It's like, oh my God, I try to keep work away from personal stuff, and it's like, where did I put that? Yeah. So.
But anyway, we got invited to sit in on a demo of Showrunner. It was weird. I mean, so Showrunner is this new platform in which anybody can create some type of series or program using AI technology. You can write it, you can use characters, it'll do the voice, animate, everything for you.
Language, yeah.
And it's a really cool idea. It's a phenomenal idea, and it's already basically a network that exists, and that they're getting ready to pitch to Amazon, and they've got some other targets. So the idea is that this is a Netflix, but it's created by normal people, in other words.
Gen Pop created.
Yeah.
Almost crowdsourcing.
Crowdsourcing content.
Or if you just wanted to make a program yourself, you just plug the stuff in and output it, and you can do whatever you want with it. So we got invited to sit in on that call today. And it was interesting, but it was just odd that we sat for 20 minutes.
They start the call by, hey, if everybody could just unmute themselves one at a time and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself. And at the time when the call started,
50 people.
There were 56 people. So it's like to allow 56 people to say, hi, my name's Matthew. I'm from this place, and this is why I'm interested. 10, 15 seconds times 50, like, get on with it. I'm not here for the meet and greet.
Yeah.
And then they did a demo, and then they gave us a link to get a temporary access to it through Discord.
Which is where it seems like the platform lives.
Yeah, it lives in Discord.
Yep, I love Discord.
Which I had an account, but I'm never on it.
Lady G.
Lady J.
But seriously, Discords is now the new user forms, which I love. It's like any kind of high-end tech. It's great. You get answers immediately. And it's a great platform.
Yeah, and it looks like it works perfect for this. But we got the invitation. I logged in, got into it, but it was never showed up in my Discord. So we could see it on his. He was sharing his screen. But it was really interesting. Like what I saw was how you can, in no time at all, create an animation. And the style of this one was very South Park like.
Yeah.
And then the example that they showed of one of their first series that they're working on called what's it called? Exit. I wrote it down actually.
I think I've seen some of these promos.
Exit Valley.
Yep, Exit Valley.
Yeah,
I've heard of that one. Yeah.
And a lot of this was in their montage and their sizzle reel.
Yeah. And it was really cool. I mean, I thought that the episode that they showed us was setting the tone for everything.
Yeah.
Was definitely really relied on a South Park approach and style of comedy.
Yeah.
It felt really flat. I didn't think it was, there was...
Of course it did. I mean, and here's the thing that we're going to learn, is just because somebody thinks they can create something doesn't mean it's going to be good.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And, so the whole thing is we're going to have a lot of content out there, but I think what's going to happen is you're going to start seeing it come back to who's curating this stuff, who says, it's going to be word of mouth. Like, this is funny, watch this or whatever. It's not going to be, there'll still be some user created stuff, but man, it's going to be a shit show out there in a few years.
Well, like anything, you would assume, the cream rises to the top. Good content will, hopefully, given a chance, will always sort of rise to the surface. But the surface mass is going to be extensive because when everybody can create content, there's a lot of content.
Don't you think it's also weird that, yes, you do have people creating content, but you're using AI tools to create it. And then AI uses the elements that are out there, the content that's out there in order to self-reference to make stuff. So it's going to get to a point where AI, and it's doing that now.
Oh, absolutely.
AI is referencing AI at this point to create things. So it's now just, instead of it getting better, it feels like it's getting a little bit more like...
It's weird. And
blobbed?
Yeah, it's
circular.
Without thinking of a better word.
Well, there's a lot of crazy things with it. Like what people don't realize. I mean, some people do. It's, I forget the report. It was like a simple...
The Warren Report.
It was a simple...
Is that it for real?
It was a simple AI...
Really? That was in there?
Oh, my God.
Wow, they were thinking ahead, weren't they?
Those guys.
Wow.
They missed the magic bullet, but they were spot on with future AI. Sorry, Dennis.
No. But they were talking about basically, and I forget who it was or the source, I'll find it, but basically... Everybody knows the power that's required for AI is out of this. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's totally... It's a huge issue. And just like... I forget how many like AI generated images, I mean, is pulling enough power to power 20 to 30,000 homes for half a day. I mean, these are serious conversations that we should be having if we're going to keep on going down the road to AI. And if we do we need to wall some of this stuff in to where we're not wasting that energy on like horse or unicorn emojis or bags of dick emojis. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I get, it's like that's where it gets a little crazy, right? We're just sort of.
And is it always at that level on energy consumption? I'm naive and I don't know the answers to this, or is that just because it's the beginning?
It's the beginning, but I know like in using, when I use AI software to like
a processing time.
Yeah, I mean my computer.
It's a fan kick on.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. And it gets
my lap gets really warm.
And the gerbil inside is, woo, he is tired.
But then you go to the other point. It's like, we both love tech, and I'm a big fan of comic.
I mean, Matthew hates tech.
I'm a huge fan of
Luddite. I'm a Luddite.
I'm a huge fan of
thanks for coming here in your wagon to join us today.
Yep. Comma AI. I'm a huge fan of Comma AI, and basically that company's been around forever. It's the George Holtz, the crazy guy that I think you guys did with ISEF when he was just a kid. He came out with this self-driving model that you can throw into any compatible car, and your car will self-drive.
Is that what you use?
It's amazing. Yeah. It's a $1,400, $1,500 device.
Showing me
that you can just throw it into your car, and your car self-drives. But their latest model. What their previous model was, they were taking your dash cam data and they were running it through AI to say, okay, this is how Jamie drives. And they're like, man, he does pretty good for drinking, but
this guy's good.
I know, it's like, this is amazing. But their newest model,
check out this dummy on a gummy.
Exactly. Their newest model is trained off an AI model. And it's
that's weird.
But it actually works really well. And it's like, I can notice some differences. It's like, okay, it's hugging these corners better. It's doing this better. But it's like, once again, it's like, if you're training somebody stupid to do a stupid thing, it's still going to be stupid, right? I mean, so just because it's artificial intelligence doesn't exactly mean it's smart, right?
No, right. And again, that goes back to it. Where does it where does it get its source information from?
Yep.
Which is ultimately a human. Yeah, a human, and
most of
you're fallible, and
most of it's us, and that's the other thing that we really have to have. I think down the road have a long conversation about is, all the times that Google gave us a free photos library, all that stuff was totally scraped and thrown into AI. Our data is AI. And when you start looking at this stuff, it's like, shouldn't the end user get some kind of money for that? I mean...
Well, you signed the end user.
I know, that's the part.
Yeah.
I mean, that sucks.
But who reads it? Have you read one?
Oh, no.
Rick, have you ever read a end user agreement?
I did when they were this...
Read a what?
End user agreement?
No.
Shocking.
Holy shit.
It's like the tag on a mattress, man. I don't care what that thing says.
And by God, I'm cutting it off. Not only am I not reading that mattress tag, I'm cutting it off. Legal be damned.
It's basically, if you read it, you wouldn't use the software. So
Yeah, you would never do anything.
Yeah.
You unplug your computer and throw it out the window.
Yep.
So yeah,
all the things you've agreed to.
so no, we would never.
Exchange
We
for
signed that. We signed our life away a long time ago.
Yeah.
But you submit to it.
Oh,
And that's what,
whoa. The way you say that was a little creepy, bro.
That's why you submit to it. Lady G.
Lady G. You will submit.
Gonna need a safe word.
That's why it's so funny. Like, when people go on this whole rant about, you'll never find me on this social media. It's like, you're saying this on your phone.
Yeah.
Like you're putting this. You have a phone.
Yeah.
You have an ID. You're on the grid. Dude.
I know, dude.
You're on the grid.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to put this here because they'll be able to find me. It's like, dude,
Well,
I can find you right now.
Yeah. Like,
Well, and think that's not anything new. I mean, how long have you had Social Security numbers in place?
Yeah,
I mean, everybody's always been on the grid unless you're truly some Luddite that's out in the middle of nowhere.
And I promise you, they know every library book you've checked out,
What's a library?
he pronounces it library. It's a strawberry that can't tell the truth.
I know. Damn, I thought it was somebody from...
refuses to. No, I'm a blueberry.
No, you're not.
He's library. You lie, Barry.
That's how little he knows about books.
Yeah.
I read a book once. There's a joke in there. I can't think of what it is. I have a book. I forget what it is.
Ironically, it is a joke book.
Well, I will say, this is sad. I've probably read more user manuals than I have books. And that's sad.
That's believable.
Yeah, that's sad.
And it shows.
I know. It's really sad. It's really sad.
That's why everything you say, step one.
I know. Step two, babe.
How's it going, Jamie? Still step one.
So, Rick, what have you been doing fun, man? Besides watching The Boys over and over again?
Oh, are you a big Boys fan, Rick?
The show, right?
Let's clarify what we're talking about. The show, the Amazon series, The Boys.
I'm not familiar. Tell me more.
Well, I just downloaded this Grindr app, so I might change.
Also a big fan of The Boys.
Yeah. I just downloaded this Grindr app. Yeah,
See a lot of swiping going on in the booth there, Rick.
I had to go back and watch
He's not even using
Generation
speaker.
V to get because there were too many cross references in the finale.
Oh, really?
For the boys to go, who's that and why are they doing that?
So I'm a few episodes in on Generation V, but on the flip side, we've decided to, Mary and I, or my wife Mary, for listeners at home, we decided when the show first came out that was something we were going to watch together. Everybody's got their, hey, these are the shows we watch together. These are the ones we, watch apart. The Boys was the one we all watched together, and now our 18-year-old's watching them with us, but because he has more of a life.
Friendly material.
Yeah. No, 100%. The last episode was like, oh, wow, that went dark quick.
Yeah.
Won't reference it.
Unlike the rest of it.
But what that means now is because he has a life, it's like, oh, come on, when are you going to be home? I want to watch the next episode. It's like, it's kind of, crushing my style a little.
Yeah,
I would just do it.
Yeah, we call it. Like Tony and I, my wife, for listeners. is we call it cheating on each other.
When you watch ahead.
Yes, I cheated on you.
We do the same thing.
I watched it.
I know.
Have you ever tried to like fake it and be like act like
Oh, that's fun.
Oh,
Oh
you
my
got
gosh.
to. I know.
I didn't see
I
that
can't
coming.
believe you did that.
They can tell. They know when you're faking
That's weird. It shows it's already been watched.
Damn it, Prime.
Oh, that is weird, right?
So weird.
Start from the beginning.
Damn kids.
So we got hats.
Autoplay.
So is this season of Boys good? I haven't even started.
What?
Yeah.
It's just a continuation. It's not as good.
Amazing
not-
review.
not as
Are
good.
you right for Rotten Tomato?
It's so many emotions there. He goes,
I'm a man of few words. No, it's okay. It's not as good as the previous three. But that's still pretty good.
Yeah, well, it's hard to always beat the freshman. You know, when you come from nothing to all of a sudden dumping this new premise on, on the watchers, it's like, oh, wow, what the hell am I seeing here? This is amazing. And, it's hard then to continue.
I don't know if the political aspect just happened to line up with reality or vice versa. I mean, but
dude,
it's gotten way too close to what's supposed to be,
that.
supposed to be fantasy and
It's a little
possibility.
too
And it's like,
close
oh,
to-
shit, we're getting real close to like what's actually happening.
Yeah, kind of like The Handmaid's
oh, dude,
Tale.
that's why I stopped watching it.
Yeah,
It's like I
same.
couldn't watch it anymore.
Same.
It's like,
Oh,
I'm done.
Handmaid's Tale?
Yeah.
Started as fiction, and during the course of the first season or
Project
the second
2025.
season, all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, this is no longer far-fetched, fantasy. This is holy shit. Yeah, I quit watching it. I just couldn't.
Well, what I started doing was, I just would.
Meth.
I would no.
You know what I started doing was
Meth. What's it called? Meth.
in order for me to feel better, I just started downloading the episodes and putting in a laugh track.
Oh yeah, totally change it.
I just took it from the bunkers, remember the bunkers laugh track, and just see how that would.
Oh,
There's always that one guy.
Speaking of bunkers, tell us about your son's treasure he found.
Oh, yes. So I shared this with you. I think you saw it too. So B he's a huge fan of these little flea markets.
Pardon me when I get another beverage.
He tries to find old analog audio gear,
cool.
reel
Which we
reel
covered
stuff.
in the last episode a little bit.
Yeah, and he comes in, to the
I was
house
really
with stuff.
high in
and
the last episode.
he comes into the house with something, and and through his point of view and his eyes, it's like, oh, good for you, cool. Yeah, you know why we don't use those anymore is because we have this now.
Yeah.
And,
We have a phone.
right. So he comes, he takes a picture of it. He and Mary are doing a college tour. I think Georgetown was where they were at, and so there was this flea market nearby, and they sent me a photo and said, B saw this, thought of you, and it is a boxed doll called Joey Stivic. And it's Mike Stivic from All in the Family.
Oh wow!
It's his character's
Oh my God, that's
son
awesome.
that was sold as a doll in a box, and it promotes it's on the box is a picture, so they make the dots easy connect. It's Archie Bunker's character holding this doll, Joey Stivic, on the box, and then it promotes with graphics that show you it's anatomically correct.
Oh, okay. I got to see a picture. Do you have a picture of this?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, we'll put it up.
So
on
Mike
the
Stivic was a meathead, right?
Yes.
That was Rob.
Yeah,
Right?
yes. Yeah.
I didn't know they had a kid. I didn't know they had
Yes.
a son.
Yeah.
Towards the end, there was a son.
It's every sitcom jumps the shark when they have to add a kid. That's
Right.
always the moment. Like,
But the character was just like an infant.
Yeah.
This doll is an infant.
yes.
Oh my God!
And then you can scroll just a few, not a
Blatant
lot.
cash
Oh
grab
my
I've ever heard
God.
of in my life.
And what's great then is it's anatomically correct, and there's just in his little, scaled down infant penis, there's a little prick hole, literally.
Oh my God!
So when he drinks, it just wets. It just wets.
Oh, Rick, you got to come here and look at this.
right.
Okay, go hurry up.
When you pour something in his mouth, it just empties right out.
I had the same problem.
Wow.
Same after too much.
I mean,
So
Swipe right or swipe left?
But
I just took any old doll that had
just with today's technology, you may want to just throw that phone away because
I know, dude. You're
on the grid.
Yeah, you're on a
list.
I just jumped grid.
So how does that have anything to do with Joey Stivic? It's just a doll.
Well, they're obviously promoting and taking advantage. I mean, the largest copy on the box is words Archie Bunker's grandson.
Jesus.
And then in smaller type says Joey Stivic to the side. But it's a picture, obviously, so anybody that was a fan of All in the Family.
Dude, you should send that to Rob Reiner.
Oh, no, that's my plan.
Yeah,
I'm going to mail this.
Did he buy the doll?
No, I immediately texted back and said, get that doll.
Oh, so
I want that
you
doll.
have it.
These pictures are from it standing on my kitchen island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I bet you have some other pictures, too.
I do.
Are they on Grindr?
They should
Let me
be.
look. I've just got the
be.
app.
And I quote.
Oh, really? You got the app. Nice.
I told you I downloaded it.
And I quote from the box down in the bottom right corner, this drink and wet doll is a physically correct male.
That's a gender-affirming dog.
It really is.
Drinking wet.
Drink and wet.
Immediately, one following the other. No bladder, just straight through.
That's
Similar to Jason's problem.
Yeah, getting older, so this is.
We should call it the Jason Barnett doll.
I'm
is
wetting
crazy.
myself now.
That's insane.
Isn't that crazy?
I never knew that existed.
No. And there's so much
I never knew
beautiful
Joey
stuff
Stivic was
out
a
there.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so much beautiful merchandise out there from that period of time, especially I feel like it's 70s and then into early mid 80s. There's a lot of stuff like that out there, but it can only be found in this off the beaten path.
Exactly.
Flea markets and hard to find treasure troves. People get out there and get
Dude, we should make our own for a series that nothing was ever made.
right?
And what would it?
Like products that were never made.
Yeah, for a
But
series.
should have been?
Yeah.
Well, we've started with a great one that actually should be the colostomy.
What?
Yeah, we can post the video that Jason created on a show site.
With help from others. It was a team effort.
It was an aggregated concept from several folks, but the origin was we're at a loud bar one night at a party hosted by our producer on site that brought us all together. Shout out to Aaron. And the client was with us, and we were talking about, we'd gotten off on the topic of multi-level marketing and how bizarre that world is and was for anybody that's had a family relative try to, bring them into the fold. And Jason started mentioning, again, loud bar, mentioned colostrum. And the client sitting next to me couldn't quite hear and screams out, "Did you say colostomy?" and bingo, we came up with a new bespoke, customized colostomy bag business for a new multi-level marketing industry.
Like designer colostomy?
Yeah.
Colostomy.
Yeah, colostomy.
Capital M-E.
And so it became a shared experience for us all to create
did.
it. So we had, and it's just a collective, group of very creative people.
It's like a cat with a yarn. Somebody starts pulling a thread and it just keeps pulling and pulling.
And so we had one of our designers on the show made the logo for it. And then I got to the point where I was done with my work. So I've got some free time. So I wrote a script and then had AI do the voiceover work, and then found a bunch of stock video that sort of fit, and made a promo video for colostomy, and we'll show that.
We'll insert that. Insert that parody commercial.
And then
right here.
In today's busy world, you don't always want to be tethered to your problems, but sometimes you don't have a choice. Regardless, you want to be free. You want movement. You want freedom for your movements. And you want the best choice. That's why there's colostomy. Our quasi-science combined with high school equivalency tested engineers have created colostomy bag technology that is nearly 78% functional. Like the ones in this stock footage, our fashion designers have made our bags leaders in both form and function. Don't let your dumps leave you in the dumps. Show off your bag with colostomy. Don't drag it till you bag it.
FYI, if you look on YouTube, there's a commercial for the Joey Stivic doll.
What?
No kidding.
Yeah.
We'll insert that as well.
We can need to see that one as well. That's awesome.
My God.
I hope they demo it peeing.
But going back to the colostomy, our good friend Corby, who also designed the logo.
Tagline.
She came up with the tagline, "Don't drag it till you bag it."
Colostomy. And as funny as it is, I do now feel like there's although niche, I feel like there's a market out there.
Well, I mean, but I'm thinking like old television series merchandise.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's hilarious. It would be
Ron Popeil,
like
whole generation.
I would totally like if I could find Hawkeye's, still that he had. I would totally.
Hawkeye martini glass.
You know what I'm saying?
I loved me some MASH.
Oh God, I love MASH. I just recently started watching that again.
It's so good, right?
And this is like a 4K print. It's beautiful.
I love
it.
it.
Oh, nice.
I did it like during COVID. I rewatched it all. And
Did you really?
Yeah.
The whole thing?
It is
whole thing.
so good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it doesn't hold up in terms of.
Oh yeah, there's a little bit of womanizing
and a little bit of some racial.
Yeah.
There's a character's name.
Which we won't repeat.
And that's right one of the early first episodes,
First season,
right?
yeah.
Well, I think he was only for like 3 episodes, and they're like, we're sort of racist. We need to get rid of.
Yeah.
Oh, Spear Chucker Jones?
Jesus, there, Rick.
There you go. Well,
Yes.
What's his name? It's in the movie.
Yeah.
Was it in the movie too?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was cut out after season 1, I believe.
Well, and then I think I just saw a little viral clip. It's been within the last couple of weeks.
But to clarify, though,
about...
but that character was not ostracized. He was integrated, like he was one of the gang.
Yeah, that was just his name.
Yeah, but it's not a great name.
It didn't age well.
No, it did not.
No.
But actually, he had a bigger role in the movie than he did the series, which sort of sucked.
Oh, really?
Yep,
See, I've never seen the movie, which is.
Oh, dude, the movie is.
It's amazing. A Robert Altman film.
Yeah,
Yep, Robert Altman, and the only character that stayed from the movie to the series was Radar, and
as the original.
Yeah, as the original character. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's
well, the video I just saw, the viral clip I just saw a couple of weeks ago. It's interesting timing. It was an interview with who played the first leader before Potter.
Blake.
McLean Stevenson.
Yes, the interview with McLean Stevenson explaining that he didn't know until after
RB
it was
over
shot.
here.
He didn't know until after it was shot that his character died.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
For all those listening,
40 years or why?
You know why he left? You know why he left the show, right?
No.
He got his own sitcom.
Well, that didn't play out well, did it?
McLean Stevenson show, I think.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
That did not play out well.
Did not work well.
And how many spinoffs were there? I know Quincy was. Well, no, not Quincy.
Quincy
but,
MD.
No, Quincy was not. It was
Quincy.
Trapper Jones.
Trapper
MD.
Yeah.
Was there another? There was
Archie's
Potter
place.
and Klinger had a spinoff.
Right. Yeah. When he went back to Toledo.
Is that where they were?
Yeah, that's right.
Was
it wasn't a lot. I remember when I first learned about Radar's
We should do one now. They're like really fucking old.
Right.
They're
Still
like
mashed.
They're totally racist now.
It's not called MASH, it's called Smash.
Yeah, smashed. Yeah.
Bill Hader does a great.
Is Alan Alda? That's a tough voice.
It's a great.
I tell you what, his voice is great, and I get confused by it. Sometimes I'll hear the same voice is Howard Stern. Their voice, their voices are so similar.
Alan Alda and
Howard Stern, just the way,
tonally,
the way they can sort of narrate a story, and it's just very, very similar. But
I totally but MASH is
so
good.
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, still watching the show, and first read about the Radar character in real life, his hand.
Yeah, and he hides it everywhere.
Yeah.
It's always behind a clipboard.
Yes.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And I like the one character. I can't remember. It was the psychiatrist.
Sydney.
Oh, yeah.
Sydney, yeah.
Now, I can't remember what I ate last night.
I'm telling you, dude.
And no one's asked me that question in 50 years.
I know.
Do you see how quick that came to me?
Well,
Sydney.
I mean, you heard Rick back there. I mean, I thought, holy shit. I mean, he's popping this shit out.
Well, he's got a phone.
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't cheat. I grew up when MASH was like the show to watch.
Yeah, me too.
Thursday nights, if I remember.
But
I mean, everybody watched MASH.
And also syndication, for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
in the afternoons.
Yeah,
like 4 o'clock and 4:30, you get 2 back to back.
But I always attribute Sydney. It was like to me, he's Malcolm Gladwell.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very much so.
Yeah.
He's this free thinker. Like, know.
Yeah.
By the way, just as an aside, because we're talking MASH, our little automated pool robot at home is called 5 o'clock Charlie because I've got it set for 5 o'clock.
Nice.
And one of my dogs absolutely hates it.
Goes crazy.
5 o'clock, you open the door.
Yep.
5 o'clock Charlie.
Yep. I think it's funny to see their faces trying to figure out that, wait, there's something under the water moving.
Yeah.
And do I need to chase it? Can I get in there?
He only gets it as it climbs up the walls, and then he feels it's a threat. But like the old days of dogs chasing cars. Like, what are you going to do when you catch it, champ?
Yeah.
Same with squirrels. You're not going to like the way this ends.
Didn't think it all the way through.
Yeah, you're not going to like the way this ends, buddy.
No.
MASH. Oh, what a great show.
Yeah.
So I've been watching. It's crazy, but I've been watching a little bit of MASH. Sir got on a Rockford Files kick for a little bit.
I was never a Rockford Files guy.
I watched it a little bit.
Good. It's not bad. And
Go back and watch Mannix.
Is it good?
Mannix was the best.
Mannix?
Yeah. Mannix and Cannon.
Cannon.
Well, I'm really
Frank
glad
Conrad.
we're really
What's Cannon?
We're really targeting our young demo.
Matlock. Season 4, episode 3.
Frank Conrad.
He's wearing a gray suit.
Frank Conrad was Cannon. He was a private detective. And Frank Conrad, I don't know if you know Frank Conrad, he weighed about 400 pounds.
I think we have a theme here. Like last episode, we talked about Columbia House and old laser discs. And now we're talking about the oldest TV shows that have ever been made.
You got to watch Cannon.
What are you on commission?
Cannon always catches he can barely breathe, much less move.
But he
always catches the guy. They go run off down the street, takes off after him, and he always catches him, socks him in the face.
I have never heard
that
of
dude
show.
would have a stroke about 3 steps into the.
So he's physically involved.
Absolutely. Well, they cut it creatively. Where like you see him take off, and then you see it end, and the bad guy.
They just throw a dummy onto the bad guy.
It's just he does impossible. He's physically impossible stuff. It's great.
It's called Cannon.
Frank Conrad. It's great, man.
I've never heard of it.
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a Quinn Martin show, just like.
Is it in color?
Yes.
Is it in color?
Mannix was cool. Mannix was good too. Mannix was a hard-nosed private dick.
Was there a bag of them?
He had a way with the ladies.
Is that what you call a collection of detectives?
Bag of dicks.
Bag of dicks.
Throw some Visqueen on
like
him.
a murder of crows.
Okay, so Mannix and Cannon. Rockford, he would go in the bag. See who else? Quincy M.E. might fit in the bag.
Yes. Columbo.
Yeah. Peter Falk. What they call him? Yes, he would be. That's a pretty big bag.
It better be a big bag.
You're gonna need a big bag to put those dicks in. Especially with Cannon, because he's huge. He'd need his own bag.
Oh, you got the original. You got Dick Tracy. I mean, he just
there you go.
Screams like he belongs in his bag.
Wonder if that's where that came from.
Interesting. And then it got quiet.
As we all pondered.
We just had to think about it for a second.
No.
Then we all went, nah.
No, when you guys said Dick Tracy, I'm just thinking, I remember as a kid, it's like, that's such bullshit.
The watch.
Who's going to have that on their hand and it's like, oh, wow, look at this.
Kind of here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Although I'm still waiting on that flying car. But we ought to make that a segment in our podcast of the great lies we were told we would have by now.
Yeah.
Because we are now living in the time when we were kids that these futuristic visions,
can I tell you
Jetsons, all these things. Like, what year was the Jetsons?
Well,
Do you know off the top of your head?
Well, I'm just thinking off the top of my head is the great lie that was told at the time was my mother said I was special.
She was right.
She was right. You're like one of those kids that sees a bus drive by and you're like, look, can't you see how big that bus is? Like, that's a regular sized bus, Jamie. No, that one's big. How big was the one you rode to school? 6, 7 seats. Yep. Yeah, no, that's a regular sized bus.
Jetsons, 1962.
No, but when was it set, though?
Yeah, what was the futuristic year? Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Jetsons, man.
But I'm fascinated by what years these things were that projected so far out in advance. It'll
It
never.
just says the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like a lot of stuff was targeted
Also,
around 2000.
Did you also notice in the Jetsons that it's all in the sky? Like obviously something really bad happened on the surface of Earth.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's what's happening now.
Yeah.
They never did go there, did they?
No.
They never went to the everything was
Surface.
space this and space that.
Yeah. So
The drive-in.
and there was a how the internet is stupid. That
I love the internet, man. It's fun.
that what's actually was on the surface was the Flintstones. Because it was around the same time. It's like,
God, what a great crossover.
yeah.
That would have been nice.
I was gonna think about that.
I'm going to be thinking about that for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But going back to the dolls and puppets and all that, so we have now added somebody to our our squad here.
Oh, yeah.
So Jamie, if you could grab.
Oh boy.
Yeah, show us on the doll.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Cody.
This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is Cody.
This is Cody. And Cody wants to know, well, first he wants you to know his name's Cody, and then he wants to know how can he help you because he's in the service industry. We're not going to talk about what his service is, but yeah, this is
this
from
doll
our,
somehow related to the Joey Stivic?
This
No,
is,
it is
this
not.
is from our show world, though. This was it again because the cat grabbed the thread and started yanking it. This was our beautiful, wonderful, lifelong friend Margot, who is our great leading stage manager, afraid of nothing. She was calling a show a couple of years ago in Vegas, and we had a gentleman who was one of the show engineers. His name was Corey, I believe.
Yes, Corey.
And she somehow decided for her that week his name was going to be Cody. And she just kept calling this guy Cody. And so we decided, why don't we honor that with our own Cody? And so we decided we bought this online. And then Jason had Maggie, who's an incredible maker who lives in his household, who then created his show blacks for him. And she did his custom shirt so that he could be identified. And then we started staging him backstage. There's a gallery of photos, incriminating and otherwise, of he's basically had comm. He has his own comm and would sit backstage and yeah, and so it turned into the sort of thing that even clients backstage, it's a conversation starter to say the least.
Need a bag of dicks.
Yeah.
Bag of dicks.
And that's the
Bag of
thing.
dicks.
He's a kind of a douchebag.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
total douchebag and horrible habits.
Yeah, he has. Like there is incriminating photos of him doing lines of coke backstage.
Yeah.
And
Again, we can post those.
and he's really into autoerotic asphyxiation.
I mean, it's just that.
Nice.
I mean, it's just
Is
that.
that what the string on his neck is for?
Right there.
So we'll share some of those images of Cody. So he is the non-speaking part of this community that we have now, and he's quite loved among our show friends.
Beloved.
Oh, he'll
Beloved.
be speaking. He'll be speaking.
He talks to me every day.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. That's what I love is, I don't do like the big shows like you guys do, but it seems like, you have to do that stuff to have that camaraderie, to have fun,
Yeah.
to have a common vision, things like that.
Blow off steam,
Yeah.
all, late hours, people get slap happy and lack of sleep certainly adds to that. A lot of times we'll surface weeks later back home and reference it and be like, God, that doesn't sound as funny as it did.
I know.
No. And the thing is, he's not the only dummy that's been on one of these shows.
Oh, far from it. He's the only plastic
Matter of fact,
one.
I think you may have a higher IQ than most of the people that I've worked with.
Jamie, my timer says 55.
Okay. Well,
Cool, bro.
I'm just telling you. You said something about 50 minutes.
Yes.
Well, here, Rick, while you're counting down, come here and have a look at this real quick, because this will tell you everything you need to know about Cody.
He's a dangerous fellow. He's small, but he's
small, but I know.
The attention to detail. Come on, we're storytellers.
Wait. Oh, okay. I thought that was Rick's birthday.
Pan around. Okay. Rick's like, I've been to that party before.
Wait, that looks like my house.
Yeah. Nice Kleenex. Yeah.
That's a hotel room. I
Yeah.
see the the safe in the closet.
There's the little.
It's him going full Carradine.
He never go full Carradine.
Ouch.
That's Cody. So Cody, welcome to the show. He's kind of our mascot for A-POD-Calypse now.
Yeah, appropriate, I think.
Yeah, because I'm tired. I really just wanted him out.
You just wanted to get him out of my house. Creepy, staring at you from the corner.
He told me to bring him to the show.
He told me, take me with you.
Yeah. He got in the car and he was in the back seat. That's creepy.
I just hear this little...
Well, they do say that one of Anthony Hopkins' early films called Magic is like...
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen it, and I hear it's like spooky as shit.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
You've seen it?
Yeah. I have vague memories of it.
Yeah. And it's a young...
Sir Anthony Hopkins?
Yes, a young Anthony Hopkins, yeah.
What's it about?
He's a ventriloquist.
Cody? It's
about his Cody that comes to life, yeah.
And yeah. And it's supposed to be like totally like scary as shit.
Well, and it's one of those like... Yeah, you hear the little footsteps, and it's like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
Cody?
Oh, my God. The call is coming from in the house. Have you checked the children?
Well, it's so funny because he's in my closet in my office, and then sometimes I...
Whoa, he sleeps out in the closet.
He's also on Grindr.
Lady C.
Lady C.
But so I have my office open, and then the kids will walk by and they'll see his face, and they're like, "Oh my God!"
Exactly.
I figured it would be like, "Hi, Cody."
Hi, Cody. All right, guys. I think this was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next week, same time, or next?
Oh, whenever.
Yeah.
Next cast.
And I'm sure the world will be just in a much better place by then.
Oh, 100%.
We'll
be all good.
Nothing will happen between now and then.
No, we'll be good. Should we be efficient now and go ahead and nail the lead in for today so that we're not held hostage?
Absolutely.
Oh, we should first end this one. Like
I thought we did.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we had a sign off?
Oh, I feel like that just bring the music in.
Yeah.
Just fade out.
You can put a button on it.
Yeah, hey, Rick.
Speaking of...
no sound effects this episode, Rick.
I got a new machine.
Well, we need the sound effects, bro.
I'll work on it. I got this one. Let me see.
I love that one.
I got that one. I got that one, and I got this one.
Yeah.
Handmaid's Tale.
That's good. Then there's this one.
Holy shit.
That's a good one.
That's what happens when somebody throws a bag of dicks at you.
Sounds like the great Gildersleeve got hit in the forehead with a bag of dicks.
Yeah. That's a keeper.
Yeah, that's how we sign off. Just like that.
Yeah.
Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah.
Rick?
Punch it, Rick.
Oh,
Okay. We're gonna.
I missed my cue. Do it again.
We're gonna try this again. Okay.
What's that? I can't even do it anymore.
Punch
All
it,
right.
Rick.
It was funnier the first time, and I fucked it up.
Oh, I like. Yeah,
That's randomly
Just pushing buttons. I don't.
I know.
Hey, Rick, you.
Just random.
Bleep out shit.
Wow.
Oh, wait.
What is that? I didn't put that in there. What's it say?
First time.
I used Grindr in Milwaukee. I couldn't believe how easy it was. Holy shit. Talk about a bag of dicks. And one in each hand, one in my mouth, one in my butthole. Fucking all night long.
Make America.
I found the fun button on this thing.
Yeah, that feels like an ending. Goodbye, everybody.
This is the new baby in our family. A baby doll. A famous doll. Archie Bunker's grandson, Joey Stivic. So, of course, he's special. Your child can give him a drink from his bottle, then he wets. And when his diaper is changed, it's clear that Joey Stivic is a physically correct boy doll. My husband and I think that's terrific. And he's such a soft and cuddly doll.
Archie Bunker's grandson, Joey Stivic, by Ideal, is a physically correct boy doll.
What a great idea.